We're going to begin with prayer before the music begins, okay? So I just want to invite you, if you're comfortable, to close your eyes. We know that preparation for prayer is prayer itself. And so I invite you to bring to mind someone you have loved and lost. Someone who brought meaning and love to your life. In addition to that person, I ask you to keep in mind a young man who loved this center like no other. And he loves all those who called it home for a period of time. That person is James Abel Kinder, a young man, a 20-year-old, whose life was cut short, and yet his spirit remains palpable in this place that he loved so much. We begin our prayer by taking a deep breath in and out, breathing in all that is good and holy and helpful, and breathing out anything at all that separates us from the love of God. And I invite you to take another deep breath in and out. Loving and faithful God, in the midst of this celebration, we give thanks for you, for the many gifts you have bestowed on us and called us to use well. May this day be filled with every good gift. And may those we have loved and lost continue to inspire us and our work. We pray. Amen. Would the choir please come forward?
Amazing grace, how sweet
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, choir. And I don't think I began by saying thank you all for being with us today. We are so grateful for you to share in our excitement and so glad to have you here with us. And I want to tell you that now it's my honor and my pleasure to introduce our MC, Adam Edlin. Bob and I have known Adam probably about 20 years. Adam, you must have been 4. Yeah, okay. Adam is simply an amazing man who has used his gifts well. At Edlin Strategic Ventures, we called him to ask for his help on this project. He immediately agreed. And he has been both an inspiration and a leader in this field of solar energy. Adam inspires good works, not only in his family and community, but in our Commonwealth and the world. It is a distinct pleasure to welcome now Adam Edlin.
All right. Well, folks, it is an honor to be here, and let me say in a little social commentary out of the gate, if you can't get excited about what's happening right here today, you need your own solar panel. So we're making history today, ladies and gentlemen, right here in Lexington, Kentucky, and you're going to hear from outstanding speakers who have been a part of this effort, who have helped support this initiative. But the fact is, right here in Lexington, right here in the Bluegrass State, we are making a big difference. We're truly making history. The Catholic Action Center today becomes among the first homeless shelters in the United States to be solar powered and the first anywhere to do so without public subsidy. That's worth a round of applause. But this kind of leadership didn't happen overnight. This kind of leadership took and required special people to come together to make the history that we're making today. And folks, that begins with Ginny Ramsey. Ginny is the founder of the Catholic Action Center. She is the director of the Catholic Action Center, and she felt a calling not too long ago to adapt this organization in a way that is more consistent with the faith teachings of her church. And in doing so, she found that not only doing the right thing, but doing the right thing made pretty good business sense. So we're here celebrating not just an initiative that is consistent with the teachings of the Catholic Church and all of Christianity and other faiths, but we're here to celebrate a business decision that will help this critical social service agency expand their mission and even better serve the poor of this community. And that truly is historic. It is truly iconic, and it is truly transformative. When you have an initiative like this, that's brought together not by big government leaders or the wealthy in our community, but just a collection of folks who say that we can do better. We can do better morally, we can do better financially, and we can do better in our service to our fellow man. Ladies and gentlemen, the person who is most responsible for making that happen is the Executive Director of the Catholic Action Center, Ginny Ramsey, and I give you her right now.
Thank you, Adam.
You're welcome.
Thank everyone. Listen, Judy McLaughlin is also here. She's our co-founder. I haven't done this by myself. There are lots of people. Where are you, Judy? Oh, there she is. And she's an Earth mother for sure. Always has been. But, you know, we don't do this without the community. I mean, when we started this 18 years ago, Judy and I said, okay, we got a lot of people whose faith leads them to care for the most marginalized. But for some reason, we were finding lots of folks being left out or afraid to ask for help or not being able to produce the right paperwork to get the help, whether it be a meal, a bed, a caring ear. So the journey of the Catholic Action Center is pretty darn amazing, really, but it's not amazing because of any of us. This has been the Lord's work. We can't make this stuff up. We can't create these things, but we can be here when the community and the faith community and the businesses say we want to do the best for all of our citizens, for all of our brothers and sisters. And yeah, we don't take government funding. It's not because we don't like our government. We love our government. Without them, we wouldn't be here. We don't do it because it's the basic moral call, and all of you need an opportunity to live that out. So if we didn't give you the chance to do that, what would you do? So we, in some ways, always thought, Judy and I would say, we're just here to give the opportunity to the community to be the best the community can be. And there is no community in the world that is better than Lexington, Kentucky, when it comes to caring about each other and taking action. We love our... And before the mayor comes on, I'm going to also tell you that he is a pretty darn amazing guy. Yes, we may have had our little squabbles along the way, but without the administration, we would not have this building. We would not have the support of the community. And Jim Gray has more compassion in his little finger than most, I don't want to talk about politicians, but most folks could ever imagine, because he does care. And you can see the initiatives the government's taken to take care of our folks, the homeless. But there are always people left out. Jesus didn't say feed the hungry that have the right paperwork, give drink to the thirsty if they're sober, shelter the homeless that are trying to get a job. He didn't qualify it. And we're blessed not to have to qualify. You all saw our amazing choir. These are folks who come from the streets but are now part of a bigger community. We all need each other. The bottom line of the Catholic Action Center is we're an opportunity for community to come together and show that we all care about each other, and to give dignity, human rights, and safety to folks who have often been the forgotten and the left out. Because I'll tell you, I love these folks on this stage. They're amazing people, and if you haven't had a chance to meet them, you need to meet them. I'm not just Adam, I meant our choir that was here before. He's no exception. He's a child of God too. But this journey to being able to uphold the care of our creation has been within us since we began. We spent 18 years with bubble gum and tape keeping things together, but now in this building, when we were told this is perfect for solar, we said that's part of the call. So we're proud and pleased to be able to live out that call in one other way, and also to save a ton of money, you all. So those of you who write checks, keep writing them, but know that they're being subsidized by the good Lord and his Son.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Ginny, that was terrific. And yeah, it's your show.
Well, as we get older, sometimes we forget, right, Judy? I've got a very special young man. Where is he? There he is. I have a very special young man. I can talk about this, you can talk about this, but what about the future? We have children here. This is what doing the right thing with our environment is all about. Our children and our grandchildren. I would like to introduce you to Alexander El Bayumi. I'm very proud to call him my grandson, and I love him dearly. He's a 10-year-old young man that wanted to share why he sees this is important to do. Come on up, Alex.
I think it's important that we put up these solar panels, because they're the other sources of energy, like that use up different things that can pollute the air and stuff. And if it's fine right now, like not completely fine, but if you go back and go forward, eventually things will start getting bad if you keep on polluting everything and all that. And one reason solar panels are good is because they're renewable, because the sun is always going to be there until it goes out in a couple billion years. So they're reusable and they don't use up as much, and they don't pollute the air. They just stay there and give energy from using the sun's rays. And I think that's why we should put up the solar panels, so you can stop polluting the air and all that. Because if you keep not doing anything about it, then eventually, like in 20, 40 years, the air is going to be too polluted. And that's why we should put up solar panels.
And you want to keep breathing, don't you?
What?
And you'd
Yeah.
like to be able to breathe in 20 to 40 years.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
From the next generation, thank you very much, Alexander. That was outstanding. So when you move from a concept, a dream, to making it a reality requires partners who know what they're doing. And before I introduce our next speaker, I do want to acknowledge a certain banker in town who, when I called and said, Bill, I need you to finance a solar project at the Catholic Action Center. And he said, what? And he said, and then Bill Alverson said, is that Jenny's outfit? I said, it absolutely is. His response was, you can tell her she's got the money. Ladies and gentlemen, a great finance partner, a good man, an outstanding bank. Let's acknowledge Bill Alverson from Traditional Bank. Thank you. Big dreams are great. Big ideas are super, but at the end of the day, you have to have a partner who knows how to put it together and make it happen. And I really do feel like this was divinely inspired, the friendship that Jenny and I have, but also the friendship that we have with Jamie Clarke. Jamie is an outstanding local entrepreneur who has been a fixture of our business community for 20 years, who was able to look at this and say, yeah, I can make it happen. Folks, there are a lot of people who are talented who can make things happen, but where you really separate the wheat from the chaff is when they're willing to significantly discount their rate to make a vision a reality. And that's why I'm really proud to have been a partner with Jamie Clarke in this initiative. I'm very proud that he was willing to do the charitable thing to make this happen, because it certainly wouldn't have happened without him. And for the person who is literally on the bleeding edge of renewable energy in Kentucky, in a state, frankly, that's not always friendly to renewable energy developers, this is a man who is single-handedly helping change the game, and I want you to welcome him, ladies and gentlemen, Jamie Clarke with Synergy Home.
20 years ago, Adam would have never thought that he was introducing me, and I never thought I'd be standing on the same stage as Adam Edlin. So we've grown up together, folks, so it's been a long time coming. And it's a nice, warm, sunny day. The Lord has blessed us with sunshine, and I know that I'm probably the last person you want to be speaking or listening to today, so I'm going to keep my remarks really brief. About 6 weeks ago, maybe 8 weeks ago, Jenny approached me. She was upset after President Trump pulled out of the Paris Accord, and she said, if the government's not going to show leadership, I think we as community leaders need to show leadership. And she wanted to partner with a way that we could get together and not just have a financial investment in their facility, but to lead by example as part of her ministry. So I really applaud Jenny in leading by example. Absolutely. You know, my favorite quote is by Mark Twain. He says, when he dies, it wants to be in Kentucky because everything happens in Kentucky 20 years later. Well, the solar industry is no exception. We have a very vibrant solar industry on the east and west coast and in many states across the nation. Kentucky is 48th in that race, folks, and we don't need to be last in anything else. So I really encourage folks to look at renewable energy. Solar is now. So many people tell me that, oh, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it'll make a lot of sense. No, ladies and gentlemen, solar is now. It is here, it is ready. It makes sense for everyone in our homes. Google actually just produced a map of the United States, and you can pull your house up and show whether or not you're a renewable energy candidate. 88% of the buildings in Fayette County are candidates for solar energy. 88%. So don't tell me I can't put solar panels on your house. So if there's any questions or anybody needs anything at the end of the day, please don't hesitate. After the formal press conference, we have a lift. We're going to be taking people to the roof, and we're going to do it Noah's Ark style, 2 by 2. So it's a perfectly flat roof, so you're safe once you're up there. We do have some hard hats that folks can wear, and we'll have safety harnesses to get you up there. But if you want to see the panels and actually see how they're mounted and things, I've got a young man that's going to be taking the trip up, and it'll be a little slow going, but I'm excited to get as many people up there that want to get up there. So again, thank you so much. Thank you, Jenny, for your leadership, and I'll turn it back over to Adam.
Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it. So if you choose to go up, you'll see 100 solar panels, ladies and gentlemen, array. It's in installation process. I've finished it up. I do want to acknowledge the guys in the blue caps who work for Jamie. These are the Synergy Home team who are going to be taking us on this lovely amusement park ride today. Thank you, guys. I certainly want to acknowledge, perhaps as a group rather than as individuals, but we've got some outstanding public officials ranging from our sheriff and county council members who are here not just because they support the concept of developing a new energy and using it to support a vital social service agency, but because they know how vital the Catholic Action Center is to this entire community. So thank all of you for being here as well. We talked about what a great financial savings that this organization is going to see. Jamie has designed an array that will permit, we believe, this project to be paid off in 5 to 7 years, generating significant savings of thousands of dollars a month that help this important organization more completely meet their mission. And those kind of savings are really important, and Jenny insisted on it. I would say, Jenny, you have the reputation in this community for being iron-fisted when it comes to spending donors' investments on the community that she's trying to serve. Well, let me take a minute to say, folks, if you support this kind of initiative, we'd like you to go to the CatholicActionCenter.net website and make a contribution, because the savings that we're generating today, even if it's $25 or $50 or $500, the savings that we're able to generate, the more quickly we can pay off this note, the more quickly we can realize that those awesome savings to the benefit of the people that this center serves. So again, it's CatholicActionCenter.net. Give till it hurts. In keeping with that, Father, I'm excited to introduce Father Al Frisch. Father Al has been a passionate advocate of renewable energy, both in terms of its moral upsides and its financial benefits, longer than Jamie and I have been alive. And and I know you've got to take a great deal of pride, Father Al, in seeing these sorts of projects come to fruition and keep up with the ministry and the evangelism that you've been doing now for 40 years. So with that, Father, come on up and let's recognize you. We'd love to know what you think. Thanks.
Thank you, Adam, and thanks to Jenny and Judy and others for allowing this center to be a central part of the models that is needed both in this city and throughout the state and throughout the world. And so we really want to thank you for being willing to put on solar energy. It's a great opportunity for us because the sun shines bright in Kentucky, and we've got to make good use of what we've got. Jenny asked me to say a few words about the spirituality connected to solar energy. And well, we can say a lot. We put on solar energy on election day last fall. We thought it was the best thing we could do at that time. And that is on our St. Elizabeth's of Hungary Church at Ravenna. There are really a number of points that are spiritual. First of all, it means inspired, and therefore these people are inspired to put this on a homeless shelter. And therefore it's an introduction to what others can do in the city. Therefore it's a model for everyone. But it's more than that. It's a community operation. Jenny was saying that 11,000 volunteers work for this center in a course of a year. All of them can know that there's a dignity involved in working in a solarized place. Secondly, it is a dignity for those who live here. we can think of that, because it's a very ideal place for doing something that is very steward operated. That is, it's more than just saving energy, saving money. It's also saving energy, and that is what our country and our world needs very much at this time. It's a church witness, not only to the Catholic Church in this area, and we hope more of them. 2 of them in the mountains have now got solar energy, but we hope that those in the city. And I gave a talk a couple of months ago over at the Catholic Centers, that is for the diocese, and mentioned that it had an excellent south-facing. They could have solar energy on it too. I'm sort of taking the place of the bishop, and he was there at that time, and he heard my little spiel about trying to make everything we can solarized. But the spiritual aspect is not only that it's inspired to put it on, but it's inspiring. And therefore, it gives to all of us a sense that we can make this world a better place. We have to remember that the first American Revolution was actually put on with a huge support from churches. And if we look now, we're in a second revolution, just to have renewable energy, a new economy that is called for throughout the world. And 19 of the 20 G20 nations will be talking in that favor next week. And it is interesting that we have to sort of put this into effect. Models. The church should be the model of what the economy should become. And so we should support it in every way possible. There's also a vitality of life that's connected to this. And that is, we are pro-life, and that means that we are for the life throughout the world. And if we destroy our earth, if we destroy through pollution and through many things that are overused, we will only hurt the very world in which we live, and therefore it will be a life-destructive process, and we do not want that. We are for the life of the world. The vitality is shown in solar energy in all aspects of it. Furthermore, there's a theological aspect of which Jenny has already mentioned, and that is that it's a care for creation. God gave us this world and expected that we would take good care of it, and therefore we're called to do it. And if we listen to the people who talk about glacier melting and other aspects, we know that catastrophe could happen. We can save this planet still. That's our hope. The hope is through things like solar or wind or any of the other geothermal, hydro, tidal, all of the renewable types of energy can be used, and in a transition we can quickly come to a point where there will not be a massive rise of temperature, and we can actually save our Earth in the process of what we're doing. This is a new theological aspect. Never before did we think that we could save the Earth. We believe that Christ is Savior. We also believe that it is in some way necessary for us to see that saving our Earth involves all of us. Our grandparents could not have thought of a thing like that, but we're called to do it. So this is a theological aspect too, and it's a new frontier in theology. No one has ever really talked about this very deeply, but it's something we must see as part of it, and this is done through solar and wind and other renewable energy sources. The Lord has given us this material, the sun itself. That God has given us this, we can make good use of it and help everybody, and the quality of life will improve. And furthermore, we can say that this is an uplifting operation to put in solar. Everyone here is proud of it. Those who are homeless, proud of where they are. Those who are caretakers, proud of what you have done. A wonderful place, a great opportunity to start in our city and in our state, to bring us up from that 48th place. We've had a difficulty with this for a long time, and we've been working on it for a long time. We put a solar energy, we called it a solar house, in 1978 in Rockcastle County. It was actually able to be renewed again this year, and it burnt down on us by accident. And even the solar panels that were to be reinstalled, and we had them, and they were used and recycled when we put them in 78, and they had done good service. But as we were trying to, an accident occurred. It was really the first solar house, really. We say in America, because the one that is in Massachusetts was really a year later. So we are trying to say, do this, what Adam is doing, what others are doing throughout this city and state, and especially want to thank you all again, because in a spiritual way, we're all working together. We're trying to save our earth. And this is a great opportunity for us to take part in it. So thank you.
I do want to acknowledge the fellow who I think drove the longest to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome my partner in the Appalachian solar deal that you have read about, Ryan Johns from Pikeville, Kentucky. Ryan, it's interesting, folks, that I think this says a lot about where we're going as a state, that the most articulate voice for renewable energy in the private sector is a coal executive. And Ryan, we appreciate your presence and your support of this project right here. We are an innovative, we are a compassionate, we are a loving community, and we're proud of who we are and what we're about. And ladies and gentlemen, I think we're fortunate to be led by the mayor of Lexington, Jim Gray, who has been outstanding and supportive of not just what we're trying to do here, but innovation at every level of the public and private and nonprofit sectors. Please welcome your mayor, Jim Gray.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Adam. Well, I was just going to say to you all first off that it is simply, Adam, not fair that I would follow Ginny Ramsey and Father Al. It's just not fair. And I will, as this heat comes down on us this afternoon, and as we're translating that into solar, I promise you all that I will remember the 5 B's of public speaking. Be brief, brother, be brief. All right. You all have heard the language already today, and it's so accurate. Innovative. Leadership. What the Catholic Action Center has always been about is leadership. And as the rain starts to come down on us, I'm going to punctuate everything that has already been said and then say to Adam that I think the tours will begin. Is that right? Yes, sir. All right. 2 thumbs up for everything that's being done here. I want to say thanks to Council members Angela Evans and Kathy Ploman and Richard Maloney for being here as well. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Nice job. Okay, folks, with that concludes the portion. I want to reiterate that Jamie's folks are prepared to take people up 2 at a time on the lift to see the site. For those in the media who may have questions, everybody who spoke is available for further interviews, but let's do it underneath the tent. Folks, thank all of you for being here. This is proof positive that we're a community and a people capable of doing very big things. Thank all of you for being here. Yep, one more, Jenny.
We have a gift for everyone.
Oh, yes.
We have a mug with some of our good earth and a flower in. Plus, we have a reception inside if you'd like to go have something to eat, drink, talk to our folks, whatever. We welcome you with the hospitality of the Catholic Action.
Thank all of you for being here.